Hello, everybody. Happy Monday. Danny Shea here, along with Psychic Duck. Say hello to Psychic Duck, everybody. Hello, everybody. Good to see you. Awesome. So, first off, thank you to all my new subscribers coming over from Linda's channel. Awesome. Hope you find something here that you like. And to my current subscribers, thank you for being here. As always, I did get some people saying that they found themselves unsubscribed from my channel. And I think from others, that's just not me. So check your subscriptions. Make sure you're subscribed to who you want to be subscribed to. I did get a comment from Linda's show that said, what did you do to your channel? I can't give you a thumbs up. I can't, it's hard to comment or something. I didn't do anything. YouTube does this stuff, so I don't know. It's their platform, and it's pretty weird. They do a lot of weird things that I don't agree with. Okay. Anyway, moving on. Somebody else asked me about, they said, you don't predict natural disasters? and I laughed at that in a way, because the reason that I don't look into it, we are all very psychic, and some people are just born that way, where they get hits and they get intuitive hits. Some people are born that way and they were told, don't do that. For example, I think I was born that way, yet my teachers said, you can't go there. You're crazy if you go there. So, we get all that crap, so you shut it down. And then we have to relearn it again. So in the process of relearning it again, there are certain areas that we can focus in on, and they're all great areas. I focus in on the way that I drop into my stillness, my quiet space, is through the shamanic journey. I like the drum. I like the journey that it gives me. It stops my monkey brain from rattling so much. And no offense to monkeys, I shouldn't have said that. Psychic Duck goes, you are quacked. I know. So that's my method to quiet myself, to get me into the quiet. And then when we're in the quiet, we can go to wherever we want to go to. We can go to the Akashic records. We can go into our past lives. We can go into our future lives. We can go into our attachments of what's holding us back. What do we need to let go of? Release, blah, 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 all that stuff. We can tap into the oracle of future selves, future times. We can look at natural disasters. I choose not to look in that area because if I get it wrong by a couple of miles, then maybe somebody is going to slack off and think, I don't need to prepare. That's a bad thing. And I kind of joke with that. But the message that I give, because I have been a first responder in earlier incarnations of me, I worked for FEMA. I did search and rescue. The thing that is always in my awareness is people did not prepare enough. I don't know if you can, but you can prepare some. Water, food, how to maintain clean water. Because what happens if the water system gets shut off or gets contaminated, like after a big earthquake? Do y'all know where you can get some water. Number one, turn off your main so you don't get any new water coming in, and you have a whole water heater that you can use. Unless you're one of those people that have a tankless water heater, then you don't have that. So, but just prepare, think ahead. Go to the Red Cross, look at their disaster list. Food and water for at least 3 or 4 days, preferably for weeks. That would be good. Okay, let's move on. What else do I have to look at? So that's why I don't do natural disaster predictions. I'd rather do natural disaster preparedness. Okie dokie. I want to look at, before I get into my notes, let's look at just the energy for the week. We're ending up the end of the year. We're going to the new year. So, but I just want to see what this energy is going to hold for us. And the deck that I pulled out, I pulled 2 decks out. I pulled the Starseed Oracle and the Wild Unknown. And each of these decks, different energies, different flavors. The imagery on all of these different decks that I get, different tarot decks, helps me with my intuition and my clairvoyance. I hear things more than I see. That's why I like the cards imagery. This is all for, I guess, the new people that are here and some of the old ones. I rarely go into that. Anyway, let's see what the Starseed Oracle has to say. I pulled 3 cards. The first card I got was Called. I look at this. I love that. What are we walking into? What are we walking into? And it says, soul gifts and training. It's time to step up. Have y'all heard that before? Well, if you've gotten a reading from me in the last month, yeah, everybody's getting the same thing. What are we being called to do? What are we being called to step up to? Each one of us is so psychic and has so many special gifts. What are we being called to do? Next card I get, Cracked Open. Rock bottom, surrender to the alchemy of life. So as I look at this in my own life, I go, you can't ignore any longer what you're supposed to be doing. It's time to step up. And then I think to myself, what am I stepping up to do? I don't know. Where am I going with this? And that drops me back into my website that just got put online. Thank you, Val. She pushed me. People need to push me to do things. And Medium Kim and Val both push dragonfly crystals, by the way, in good ways. And it takes me so far out of my comfort zone. And so I look at, it's time to step up. What am I doing? Well, I need to step up on that website. What classes am I wanting to put up there? And classes, to me, it's more of what do I just want to open space up to where do we want to learn? Because we all share so much in that. And just what do I want to set up for the next year in this website? I didn't have to do it last year. I could just be lazy, do whatever I wanted. And just float around with Psychic Duck in the duck pond. Well, yeah, just chill. But now I feel like I'm needing to step up a little bit more. I don't know what that is yet. I need to surrender to the magic of life. And the last card I get is Portal. Ooh. Doors are opening. You decide. Rewards? Wild card? What do you want? So with this portal energy card, with the Galactic Heritage deck, I do a portal spread, and within that spread, they told me, that the author told me, you can rearrange the cards. Isn't it funny how we often would really like to get permission to do something before we do it? So forever, anybody who needs permission to step through that portal to open up your gifts and share, you now have permission. And I am, not that you need my permission, Psychic Duck is giving you permission too. Now that's big permission. But, so I rearranged this to, we are cracked open. We've been cracked open since 2025, since, holy crap, since the escalator, we've been cracked open. What are we being called to step up to do? A lot, I think. And this is wild energy. Anything. What do you want to imagine? What do you want to dance on this web of creation? What do you want to put out there? Yeah, big, big. All right, let's do some wild unknown. Let's do 6 cards for the energy of this week as we move into the new year. Because next Monday we'll be in the new year. What are we getting into? What are we getting into? That card didn't want to pop up. Here we go. These 2 cards really wanted to show up. The Mother of Swords, Queen of Swords, and the Magician. It's interesting with both of these cards. They both have the Sword of Truth. The Jaguar standing strong, looking, in my awareness, where he's looking is in the future with the Sword of Truth. Looking to the right. And to me, that is my future. The left is my past. And I wonder if you were right-handed or left-handed, would that change? I don't know. Maybe. So it feels like we're getting some new truths, and it's asking us to call in our magic. And we got that Alchemy of Life card before. We'll pull one more. The interconnectedness of everything. 10 of Cups. This is my Democratic card, but this is even more than that. This is not Democrat, not Republican. It's all colors. It's all coming together. I was reading an article on Wounded Knee. It's been 135 years today of the massacre at Wounded Knee. And as I'm reading some of this history, and my energy level is just being cracked open. I'm at rock bottom thinking about how can we do this to people. I think about The Wizard of Oz and what an amazing movie that seemed to be. And then I read an article that the author wrote regarding Wounded Knee, and he was such a racist. The white race, I'm like, oh my gosh. When are we going to learn? When are we going to create and drop into the alchemy that we are all in one relation? We are all related. That is the alchemy of life. that's the end of my preaching. Sorry. Preach it, Danny. Oh my gosh. All right. Let's move on to a little bit of politics. 1515. Oh, 1515. Okay. I got an email the other day that I wanted to read on right away. And I try not to be reactionary when I read. I am really pissed off at our politicians who are reactionary before they get all the facts. These days, it's even more important because of AI. So, but I got this email on Saturday after I did the show with Linda, and so I said, well, and then I had my Sunday show. I said, well, I'm going to read on it Monday, although I wanted to read on it right away. In the meantime, you got to get up pretty early in the morning to read before Libby over at Meister Tarot. Why? Because she's in the future. Anyway, she read on it. Great read on that. Also, Dr. Lisa Vest read on this. She did a live stream. She just, I got this. I had to do a live stream. Good for her. I think I will do a live stream immediately when Pumpkinhead leaves. I'll jump up and down. Pop open a bottle of champagne, kombucha. Somebody says, I need a new popcorn maker. Yeah. So keep dreaming of that day. So anyway, what we're talking about right now, that was a little ramble squirrel moment. I got an email from This Will Hold. And for those new to this channel, I am a huge election denier in the phrase that the election was stolen from us. Votes were switched, votes were manipulated, and Election Truth Alliance and This Will Hold are bringing it to our faces, and they keep bringing it to our faces. I try to keep bringing it as much as I can. Whenever I pull my other card of my other deck of cards, Kamala Harris is always prominent when I read on the future of Pumpkinhead and where he's going and how he should have been gone a long time ago. But nonetheless, so I appreciate This Will Hold Election Truth Alliance for still showing up and bringing this up. And what they are asking to do is call both of them, our representatives and our senators, and say, look into this, release the data. We're going to get into that in a minute. Okay, so this article, and it's on Substack. You can find it a lot of places. I will put it in my community page, if I remember. It talked about more than 41% of the Democrats feel that the election was stolen and that Kamala Harris won. Hakeem Jeffries maintains that there are no election deniers on this side of the aisle. So what are you saying, Hakeem, to me? That I have no voice? 41% of your caucus now has no voice? Oh, be careful. Ken Martin has announced the Democratic National Committee will not release its internal analysis of the 2024 presidential election. Why? Why not? Why is the government always not wanting to release data that they have? I mean, I'm thinking of the Epstein, why aren't they giving closure to the victims? Why aren't you guys giving closure to those who voted and said, my vote wasn't counted? Give us closure. My vote was counted. I'm in California, though. But there are some people in California, their vote wasn't counted. So there was in Northampton County, for example, and this whole article has a whole bunch of stuff you could look at, makes your head spin. In Pennsylvania in 2024, Northampton County, they had 435.98% of the voters cast ballot. How can you have 435% of voters casting ballots? You can only have 100%. Am I missing something there? I wasn't that good at math, but I think I'm missing something. So I know people say that we're going to take over the midterms. It's going to be great. But let's just look at the question. Is the government going to look into the interference and the vote switching before the midterms? Is the government going to look at the voter math from 2024, also from Tennessee, and make changes to have a more secure voting system for the midterms 2026? That's a good sign. Circles of support. That's just the first card. 3 of Cups. So again, wild unknown. It's not 3 women, it's 3 birds in a tree. They're talking to each other. They're going, yeah, we need to do this. But it's a little fuzzy, a little hazy. We have the Page of Pentacles, the Daughter of Pentacles. This is a yes, that they are going to be looking at these, hopefully come up with something new, but it's still young energy for the votes. Daughter of Wands, Ace of Swords, Mother of Swords. There's some legal stuff coming up. Oof. And there's some sadness. 5 of Pentacles, loss. They're looking at the loss. Okay, keep going here. We get the 6 of Pentacles, giving and receiving votes. Okay, as we keep going, thank you. Okay, let us, I'm going to get rid of my iPad for 1 second. It's got my notes on it. So let's drop this down and take a look at what we got. So, looks like a mess as I stretch things out. So we have the 3 of Cups being challenged, being covered by the Daughter of Pentacles. Circles of support. We have, this is what we need to do. Celebration. It's tempered. It's still a little dark, but there is light. We can see the light. And we have a new process, a new way of being, a new way of counting the votes, maybe, with this Page of Pentacles. And if Pentacles are votes, okay, that would be something new with the vote. We have the Daughter of Wands. So this is the Page of Wands that comes in, and it's a snake that is bringing rebirth, also a figure 8 to this. So we do get some, what we're marinating in is the need for a change. In the past, we get legal action, the Sword of Truth. It didn't really do that much. Maybe it started something a little bit. Maybe this is the Mark Elias group that's affecting some kind of change. However, we have the Queen of Swords sitting up at the top. This Queen of Swords card is my legal card, and it's more of an overseas card. This Queen of Swords, I don't know if you guys, a little squirrel moment here. I don't know if you guys saw Letitia James. Is that right? Letitia? Yeah. She was in front of Congress, and it may have been a state seat, but oh my gosh, she did not back down. She goes, just because you think you're all that, I am not backing down. I am not going away like Marjorie Taylor Greene. We need people to stand up. Anyway, Mother of Swords. This is strong legal things, and potential near future is the loss, Five of Pentacles. This is, to me, sadness. This is also just a loss of morality. And so I feel like that's what this is being shown with these legal cases. We got the Six of Pentacles, Six of Votes, giving and receiving. The manipulation back and forth of votes. External position. Full illumination of what's going on. We get the karmic wheel of fortune. Things are spinning, but look how messy it is. There's a lot of things that are interconnected in this wheel of fortune. And then we have the completion card, the world card, being clarified by the Queen of Pentacles, security, the vote, and the Three of Wands. Again, this is an overseas card, this Three of Wands, but it feels like it's containing some energy in it. I would probably have to dig into that a little bit more. But it looks like, yes, they are going to be looking at it. So, as I said then, I said, but we need to kind of break open that wand information so that that light can come out, and that's where we call our representatives, and we demand that they release this data. Say, if you are one of those 41% who believes that the election was stolen, we need to make our voices heard. We need to call Hakeem Jeffries. No. I saw Nancy Pelosi on TV saying, oh, we have strong leadership. It's not that strong if they're not releasing data, if they're not following the breadcrumbs. Okay. Let's take a look at Mark Kelly versus Pete Hegseth. I'm not really sure where this is going to go. That's why I'm using the wild unknown. Mark Kelly, Pete Hegseth. Mark Kelly and Pete Hegseth. It feels like there's no... It feels so unfair. You think Mark Kelly could be... you think he's going to run for president? Do you think Pete Hegseth is going to run for president? Oh. Oof. Oh my gosh. That was just a funny image. Scary, but funny. Mark Kelly. Let's just read on you. Mark Kelly. 411 on Mark. Ooh, 10 of Wands. 10 of Wands. Why did I get this right off the bat? The burden, the thicket, going through it. He's not backing down. Think of his wife, too. She was in Arizona, and she got shot. Brain injury. Horrible. Son of Cups. Knight in shining armor. Okay. Seems like it. At the base of the reading, he's going on a new journey. The Fool. He's marinating in this energy of, if it walks like a duck. Mark Kelly's going, I can be a psychic duck. I can be a duck just like, sorry. Star. Mark Kelly. Mark Kelly. Mark Kelly. So he's still trying to figure out where he's going with this. Yeah, but it feels like he is getting ready to open up, but he hasn't quite yet. I think it's going to be really good. Really good. All right. Where are we going? Where are we going? I think I'm done. I think I'm done. I'm going to read on Mandami a little bit later. So before we go, please, 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 if you're one of the 41%, send an email. It's easy to do, to your representatives, to your senators, especially, I used to think, oh, I'm in California, I'm in the Democrats' side. I don't need to, no. We need different leadership, somebody who is going to pay attention to 41% of their caucus. Is that the right word? Of the support of their party? They're not listening to them? That was a sigh. Come on now. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you. Peace and love.